with Deborah Franklin. No, you're not dreaming. You are wide awake. Yes, it is Monday night, and I am joining you for the first time in a very long time. Y'all, I'm so excited about tonight's show because we're talking everything thankful. I'm so excited because you got so much to be thankful for. But y'all, I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Motivational Moment. Hey guys, and we are back. Y'all, I'm so excited about tonight because moving to Monday night just fits so much better with my schedule, and I have to be honest, I moved for selfish reasons. I like doing the show on Saturday, but on Saturdays, that meant I had to limit engagements. And y'all know the girl is all about getting out in the streets and talking to people, meeting people, setting up new things. So in order for that side of conversations to grow, we had to figure out a way to make our lives, to make the show grow as well. So we have moved to Monday nights, y'all. We are here to stay. So I want to make sure that you are locking us in on Mondays at 7. But most of all, this is the week of Thanksgiving. I'm not talking about the turkey. I'm not talking about the pilgrims, but I'm talking about you. What are you thankful for? And I did make a post, and I had so many people to post, oh, I'm thankful for my life. Y'all, I felt like I was at church sitting on the back row. They saw, y'all can respond. I do have people in the audience today. Y'all can respond. I like a little amen corner. It's good. But that had people say, oh, I'm thankful for my life. I'm thankful for just being here. I said, oh, Lord, do I really have to listen to Mother at the back of the church? Oh, I thank you for my life, my health, and my strength, and saving and sanctified me, filling me with the Holy Ghost, with the mighty burning fire. Y'all, let's stop having church every time we ask a question. Be honest. What are you thankful for? Be reasonable. Are you thankful for your job? Yeah, we know we thankful for our lives because if we weren't living, we couldn't go to the jobs that we have. If we weren't living, we couldn't pour into children. But be thankful that you have something to say to someone to help them grow and go to the next level. Be thankful that you actually can make a dinner. Regardless if you only having fried chicken and mashed potatoes, it don't matter. Be thankful for that because so many times we always talk about being thankful for the big things, but we are not thankful for the simple things. I'll never forget, I heard somebody say that they were just thankful that their car started this morning. How many of you, because back in the day, I had a Who Ride. Baby, my Who Ride was a piece of work. I felt like Fred Flintstone. I used to have to push that joker with my foot to start it. Yes, I did start there, and I'm not lying. I had a 5-speed, and those of y'all know, if you with a 5-speed, all you had to do was get it a little jerk and pop that clutch, and you could do what you had to do. Yes, I had a Who Ride, but I'm thankful for that Who Ride because that Who Ride, once I got it moving, got me to the job that I had. Then it got me to school as well, so I was able to get my degree with that Who Ride. So be thankful from even when you had small beginnings. So many of us don't even want to be transparent enough about where we came from. Why aren't you telling your story? Because so many times people see where you are but don't know where you came from. And when they know where you came from, honey, they can celebrate you even more when they see where you are. Because a lot of times people have to know that the struggle is real. Not all of us grew up with a silver spoon in our mouths. Heck, I didn't even grow up with a silver spoon in our house. What you say? I'm like, come on. So we have to start being honest about what we're thankful for. We have to start being thankful for everything, not only for our minds. Yes, we are thankful for our minds. We're thankful for God saving us. We're thankful for God delivering us. But then let's go ahead and tell the whole story. What did God deliver you from? Because a lot of times we get so lost in hiding and shame. Be thankful that you are not living in shame anymore. Because I know I'm thankful for being able to be honest with myself and honest with the people around me. I'm thankful that I'm not so emotional as most, you know how they label women. You hear something and you flake out the minute you hear it. Oh, thank God that I am a practical person. Now, sometimes it does make it a little rough because I tend to overanalyze some things, but I'm glad that I'm able to look at the full picture. So I'm thankful for being able to see more than what is in front of me. I'm thankful for being able to analyze more than what's in front of me, because a lot of times when you are practical and you analyze something, you don't get stuck on what you hear. You don't get stuck in just the immediate. You start to look at things, and then now you can gravitate to what's happy and what is making you feel set free. Because at the end of the day, you need to be happy and thankful that you are happy. Because so many people said so many things, but nobody even said that they were thankful for being happy. So you got your mind, you got this, you got that, but if you're not happy, then what's the purpose? You have got to learn to be happy and set free. So guys, if nothing else, if you can't buy anything for anybody, if you can't have the spread that you used to have, and if you can't do anything, at least be happy with the situation that you are in. Be happy that you could just get up in the morning and say hello to somebody, that you can smile at them, that you can tell a joke. It don't even have to be funny, because right now I'll tell Alexa to tell me a joke, honey, and they are so corny, but I still laugh. I'm just saying. So if you sit up and start be purposeful and intentional on being happy and serving the ones that are around you, then you're going to start seeing everything around you start to change. Because in this Thanksgiving season, I did pose the question, are we here to give or are we here to receive? Now, true enough, we're here for multiple reasons. But if you know that you have been put here for a reason, once you get yours, make sure that you're giving back to the community. Make sure that you're giving back to some young person. Make sure that you are sowing into somebody else. Because guess what? We all want to get along and do what we have to do. And we all want to walk on purpose and have our plans out together. Because when we are living intentional, y'all, we can't do nothing else but succeed and make it to the top. Because at the end of the day, you never know who you can help. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. It's only lonely at the top when you don't take anybody with you. So, all right, guys, I'm going to be right back. And, honey, I got some guests for y'all tonight. You better watch out. We'll be right back. girl Thomasina and Zafia with me. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Y'all, I'm okay. I'm just gonna be real transparent. Tonight we had a guest, and the guest flaked out on me, and like 10:00 this morning. And I said, y'all got to come do my show with me. I need some help. I can't do this worst night by myself. So, y'all, I got friends. See, people that love me, they showed up.
Yeah, we show up. We show up.
They showed up just when I needed. You know, they talk about the ram in the bush, baby. I was dialing some numbers, sending some texts, baby. Because you know what? Tonight, I could not have our inaugural night not go off without a hitch. But then I also had to look at that this week was a holiday week. And so, in my mind, when I said, I'm going to go to Mondays, I forgot to look at the calendar. And I should have started next Monday and not this Monday. But you know how that goes. But I want to thank them for joining us. And tonight, y'all, we're just talking about being thankful. And we want you guys to call in. We want you to put some messages on Facebook. Tell us, what are you thankful for and what this season means to you? Because, y'all, we're getting ready to chat it up. Because, for one thing, I'm from the South. Sophia's from the South. And this one right here from D.C. But, you know, hey, we won't hate.
Originally from the South, though. No,
okay. Dirty.
Woohoo! So, you know, when you're from the South, the holidays are totally different.
Night and day.
Night and day.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I first moved here, somebody invited me to their house for Thanksgiving. Ooh. And I was like, what is this?
Exactly.
I was like, y'all only got one table? And it was just the main table of food? I'm like the used to, you got what?
Spread.
You know, like
and,
table.
Yeah, then they like the food is fire.
Right.
And I'm like, oh.
You be like, what fire? You mean you're just on the match? I was like, what is this? Because I was like, what a dressing? They said, we got stuffing. I was like, stuffing? I was like, you know, because normally, right, from the box, you know, I'm used to like
stovetop.
Right. And so I was like, I'm used to either like rice dressing that we call dirty rice because I'm from Texas and you know, we still get some spillover from Louisiana, or cornbread dressing.
Real cornbread dressing.
Yes. Yeah, that you really make the cornbread. You really do bake it. You really do crumble it up.
Yes.
You really cut your own vegetables.
You put it in the cast iron skillet.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, y'all ain't grow up with the cast iron skillet. I ain't get that one. I think my grandma had one, but because I've seen some people get hit with that cast iron skillet, though. That might be why we never had one in the house.
That might be it.
Yes, but you know, ladies, I really am thankful that you guys joined me tonight. But how would you say that? What does this season mean to you? What does Thanksgiving mean to you?
Well, I just love it because it's a time for getting together with family and friends and showing love. I'm thankful for a lot of things this Thanksgiving. Thankful for just feeling free for the first time in a while, in a long time. So, I contribute that to just years of just being boggled down with sexual assault. So I just got delivered from that. So that's giving me a whole new outlook on everything. And you
mean the mental side of the sexual assault? Being able to deal with the ramifications of it.
Absolutely.
Because, that's major. Because you know how many people can't celebrate the holidays because of something that has happened in their past.
Right.
Especially when we start talking about abuse. Yes. Because abuse I think the holidays is the worst for people that are in abusive relationships or abusive families. I just really feel like the holidays are the worst.
Yes. And so it's been, you don't really know that you're not free until you get that feeling of deliverance. And then, you're like, I've been living like this for 25 years. So, it's quite refreshing. This holiday, I am so thankful for the feeling of just pure freedom. And I'm ready to celebrate.
I love it. Because you know what? Freedom leads to peace. And y'all know I'm all about peace. Because I don't do no drama.
Yeah.
Because y'all know I'm quick to be like, stop.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for me, you just said the key word is peace. Mm-hmm. And so, when I look at like the major holidays, the birthdays, those kinds of things, for me, it's about reflection and just kind of looking back. And so the wonderful thing for me, when you're from the South, Normally on Thanksgiving, you with these large crowds of people.
Right.
Whether you know them or not.
Absolutely.
Or whether they claim to be in your family.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you still trying to figure
Exactly.
out how they claim to be your cousin. Okay,
Exactly.
all right, so good.
Yeah,
We
so-
all with the same people.
Yeah, so this year for me, I decided, you know what? I know it's not, the normal Thanksgiving, but I needed to be by myself this year to just relax and have some peace.
Right.
They talking about they gonna be by themselves. They lying, y'all.
I'm
They coming
serious.
to my house. Because they done
Let me
already
tell you.
forced
I'm
me. Let me
going.
tell you, they already forced me into cooking because I had already vowed that I'm not cooking.
She throws down. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I had a friend that's going through, and so I said, y'all know I'm not cooking. But then when the person told me what that was going on with them, I said, Jesus. I got to be the friend. So since I'm being the friend, I said I might as well get me some more friends so I'm not sitting up in the house so we all don't have to be depressed together.
Exactly.
No, that's a good thing. But let me tell you, I'm serious though. Let me tell you.
I get you.
Seriously, last year, I love my family. When I say I love my family, I love my family. Last year, I got in a truck with my brother, my sister in love, my amazing little niece.
Oh, y'all, she's feisty.
She is feisty. That's my girl, though, with my nephew dog.
Right.
I love it.
And I got in that vehicle and we drove 6 hours to North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
To be with, they always have like the big family reunions
Right.
on Thanksgiving Day. So you
Oh,
got
wow.
150 people in the
Wow.
community center on Thanksgiving. It was wonderful. All love. But for me, it was a lot going on.
Right.
And I couldn't sit back and just really reflect upon what I was grateful for and thankful for.
Right.
And you don't often get that chance. And a lot of us, we travel.
Yeah.
We have very
Yeah.
demanding schedules. We're consistently on the go. And I'm just like, you know what? I just want to sit still and have some level of peace this year.
What a
Right.
concept. And no, I totally get it because I was saying the same thing about Christmas because normally Christmas is my time to go home. And,
Yeah.
when I go to my mama's house, and I was like, y'all, I really don't feel like traveling because it's like this year has been busy.
Yeah.
I'm talking busy. It's been like transition after transition after transition, then another transition. And so it's like, I just wanted to take a break. So no, I totally understand what
Yeah.
you're saying. And you were going to have to take a quick break because our Facebook family is going to need some attention because I just realized that the battery is about to
Yeah.
die. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with you since we don't want anybody to miss anything about what we're thankful for. We'll be right back with you. join in and not miss anything. So yes, that's why you had to get some some commercials. But see, that's what happened when you're doing live TV, live radio, TV, whatever you want to call it. Guess what? We's live, baby. So, we were talking about what we were thankful about and why we need peace. But, how many people have experienced no peace on the holidays?
Yeah.
So it's like even I normally do a show around the holidays and the first of the year called Suffering in Silence. Yeah. And Thomasina, you alluded to something that if anybody knows you, like I know you, right, and I would have never known that you were quote unquote suffering in silence. So how did you get the peace how did you get the peace? What was one of the tools that you used to get the peace?
Well, actually,
and don't tell me reading the Bible and praying. I want something other than that.
No, that definitely wasn't it because I've been, it happened like when I was in my 20s, 23 years old. And I never really told anyone because the person that it was, I felt like they would never believe me because it was a person of stature, a person of, an influential person. So I just never said anything. And what happened is I just got delivered through the word of God. I'm just saying in church. And so that's what brought about the change. And I'm so thankful for it. I really didn't know that I was bogged down with all this stuff. I just kind of like suppressed it.
Right. Yeah. So even though you're saying that you got delivered in church, and I mean, a lot of us do, but what did you do? What was the practical thing? Did you start talking to people? Did you start sharing your testimony? What did you do? Because I know somebody is watching that's dealing with that because this is that time of the year. Yes. Because you don't really start feeling alone and left out or singled out until you got so much holding you down that you just feel like you can't bust out the shell. So what was the practical thing that you did?
Well, you just have to take that take that first step. You have to find someone that you can trust, that you can, because you need to get it out. If it's be a therapist or a close friend, but you need to take that first step and start to talk about it to start the healing process. Because if you keep it suppressed, you will never be free from the trauma.
Right, and I totally agree, and everybody know I make a joke about having going to the therapist, and it's like I make the joke is not a real joke. It's more or less like, baby, you get it for free, go use it. That's what that EAP is for. Right. That's in your insurance package, so you ain't got to be shamed. You ain't got to say it costs nothing. You just go dial that number. Right. And depending on what profession that you're in, they gonna take you regardless. Especially if you in if you're a teacher. Teachers go use that EAP, y'all. It's free. It's free, y'all. You get 5 or 6 sessions free. That's my commercial for EAP.
There it goes. Free advertising right here on the Deborah Franklin Show.
Yes. Go get that session. Because a lot of times when you go to these sessions, things that you think that you weren't suppressing or things that you think that you were free from, still they start to bubble up and start to come out. And you're like, wow. Right. I'm dealing with that.
And a therapist, you don't have to cover up anything. They're there for that purpose. You can let it all hang out and let it, feel comfortable.
Right, most definitely. And I know, like, for me, Thanksgiving used to be a challenge because my father passed, like, the week before Thanksgiving. Wow. So it was, like, to deal with, for lack of a better statement, him passing on, like, a Saturday, and then Thanksgiving was, like, that next week. So it's like he, like, died on, like, a Saturday. We had his the funeral on Wednesday, and I think Thanksgiving was the next week. Day. The next week, not the next day, child. Then I would probably be celebrating for a long time because I'm a daddy's girl.
Been there.
So so it's like even with now being able to talk about loss and during the holidays because you still have so many people that get in the fetal position and mom and daddy or cousin or whoever that person was.
Absolutely.
They still they grieving so much that they don't even know how to have peace during the holidays. Right. And it's like one thing, and I know, y'all know I'm a little simple, I'm a little special, I know I'm a little touched when it comes down to certain things because I feel like you shouldn't have, I feel like, if for me, that it doesn't take years and years and years and years to get over stuff. I'm the type of person that, hey, come on now, it's been 5 years. When you gonna let it go? When you gonna move on? But then it's like when I went through this class with somebody else and they were talking about grieving, they said everybody has to grieve at their own time.
Right.
And I was like, I get that, but then when do you start living your life? I get that you're still gonna have those moments. Now, do I wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh, my daddy? Yeah, child. That's real. That's real. I want my daddy because I be going, Daddy, you know I just did this? And he'd be like, And like that was my daddy. He had a good grunt. And then it was like, even with, y'all know I just went home for my mom's 70th birthday. Yeah. And that messed me up. Yeah. Because birthday time, especially when it was something to do for my mom, it would be like, girl, go on and go do this. Sir, are you sure? Yeah, go on and get it. You sure? Then I'd be like, well, where the money? Just go on and take care of it. I'll give it back to you. Y'all know I'm still waiting for that money. Right? So it was like I was doing stuff, and all I could hear was his voice saying, do this, do this, do this. Right. And I'm like, that was a trip to me because at the end of the day, if he had been here, that's what he would have been telling us to do. Yeah. To make sure that we did what we did for her. And I was like, but that's like, to me, that's like a healthy way to deal with grieving. But what advice, both of y'all, I'm not sure, have you lost a parent? Okay, so all of us have had to deal with grief around the holidays. What would you, and I'm thankful for the lives that the people in my life lived. I'm not making light of it. I'm not making nothing of it. But it's like they lived a life because even my grandmother, her birthday was around Thanksgiving time. So, and I lost her. So I'm with you. So it's like, what advice would you give somebody that is grieving right now? Something that, what word of encouragement, and we know words don't mean, but somebody needs to hear this because it wouldn't have came across my mind if somebody didn't need to hear this. What would you tell them? What kind of advice would you give them at this moment?
Well, I'll share. You hit a few nerves when you were speaking just a moment ago because I'm thinking back to Thanksgiving 3 years ago. And Thanksgiving 3 years ago, on that Sunday before Thanksgiving, I get a phone call and said I need to come home because my sister was in the hospital. Right. And so I rushed home. And it's like, oh, but she'll be out by Thursday on Thanksgiving. And so I'm like, okay, but I'm going to go ahead and get on the road early because that's my girl. Like, I need to be there. But then I can take her home before Thursday and we're ready for Thanksgiving for the regular routine. Well, she never came home. Anytime I get ready to build up to Thanksgiving, of course, those feelings, they come back. And then you think about Christmas. What do the lonely do at Christmas? It ain't just applying to ain't just people who ain't got a mate. It's also, you start thinking about those family gatherings, those times where we are all gathered, and those key people, those critical people in your life are no longer there with you. Exactly. And so what I had to do is almost like, when is enough? But it's everybody has their own course to run. But at the same time, I had to say, okay, Zafia, you got to get out of this rut. And you got to make a decision that you're going to have a better Thanksgiving this year than you did versus sitting at home crying and wishing that they were there. Right. I had a sister, but I still have a brother. Absolutely. So for me, I had to focus on who was still left. Exactly. And so it's just like, okay, and then building relationships. So 3 years ago, I did this vision board. And, you got your family, but at the same time, you long to have just relationship and close girlfriends and people that you can go and spend time with who share your same passions, same interests. You can hang out, exactly.
Yes. What a concept.
Yeah. So I was like, I put on my vision board, find your tribe. And so I had to be real intentional around, okay, I need some sister friends in my life. Right. So when I'm having a difficult moment, now, there's times where I want to stay in isolation. But the times where I don't, who can I call? Exactly. That I trust, who can be like my sister, who can stand in the gap for them and start building some real relationships that I can be authentic with, transparent with.
Whoa, pause. You said two things. You need to say them again. That you can be what?
Authentic and transparent.
Right. Because, so many times we talk about building a tribe, but we still like this with the tribe.
Yeah.
That's right.
And what's the purpose of having all these people around
you? And see, too many times, it's just like, particularly when you're trying to build this business, you've had these positions, everybody looking at you like, okay, that's that strong sister over there.
Exactly.
She can handle everything, but no, I can't. And so if people just even know, look, I hurt too. I cry at night. You know, I got to pull up the covers like this.
Right.
I'm a human. It still hits me like it does everybody else.
Right.
And we mask stuff really, really well.
Big time.
I'm the queen of it, honey.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just had to sometimes say, okay, you know what? I can't take the mask off with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I can build relationships with people that I can trust. And
Exactly.
look, sometimes you can call your girl up and they don't even have to hear anything but hello and what's wrong?
Right. Or like my favorite is, you tripping?
Yeah.
Are you tripping? Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be like, yeah.
Yeah. So I found my tribe and just
I love it.
try to connect with people who mean something, who can love me and love on me, and I can love on them.
I love it. It's awesome. It's awesome. Y'all, we got some Facebook comments, and we're gonna make sure that we're gonna be able to see what's going on with them. But y'all, we're gonna keep this conversation going because I'm loving it. Because so many times we get bogged down in the holidays. Now, got to ask this question. We already talked about the cast iron skillet. We talked about the cornbread jester. We talked about putting things together. Y'all know what my favorite is. What's your favorite dessert?
Ooh, the pound cake. That's my favorite.
She reached for that one. Y'all, she said the pound cake. Well, you know what? There are some people that can mess up a pound cake.
Yes.
Yeah,
some
there
of
is
them
some
be
people.
pretty dry.
You be like,
Yeah, exactly. And I've had your pound cake, and it's just awesome. Just letting y'all know. Can throw.
Yeah, she's awesome in the kitchen.
Well, see, I got different desserts for different seasons.
see, come on here.
See, for Thanksgiving, is that sweet potato pie.
Oh, wow.
You know, my dad used to make the sweet. My dad made the sweet potato pie.
Didn't y'all get one at my house?
We didn't get it.
And I don't think we got no sweet potato pie
Oh,
now.
there wasn't none in the freezer because y'all know I'm good for freezing stuff. Ola Franklin is my mama.
So during the Thanksgiving season, I need that sweet potato pie made by hand with the wooden spoon. That you know how to really whip it, and you can't get all the lumps out.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That's real serious. That's
Exactly.
real serious. Because y'all, I don't cook with no wooden spoon.
Then the other
my whole nerves
holidays,
be bad.
it's cakes. And I didn't say cake. I said cakes.
Yes,
So I got 4 favorites. So
this baby say 4
Chocolate.
favorites.
Yeah.
We ain't doing all of them. We
Coconut.
only get 1 favorite
red
in my house.
velvet, carrot.
Ooh,
Yeah, but see, they
good.
have to be all together.
Wait.
So like I'll get
you
4
want them
cupcakes and
with-
I'll cut it up and it'll be a 1/4 of each one.
She said cupcakes. I don't do no cupcakes during the season, honey. You get a whole
Yeah.
cake.
But
This
see, if I
baby
get the whole cake,
this
I'll
baby
eat the
right
whole
here,
cake.
See, you the one that got the dessert plate.
Exactly.
That's right.
Y'all know everybody got one in the family. They
Yes,
walk around
that's
with
me.
a plate of dessert. She be like,
Yes.
really? Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I got you. So
To go.
So I can't with their own foil paper.
And I
Not
forgot-
foil,
I
but
forgot
foil
the
paper.
lemon.
Remember, did
The
y'all
lemon
have-
Number 4.
Lemon cake. Yeah. Oh, wait.
Lemon
a minute.
cake is
now,
the
see,
best
lemon
now.
cake is the best. See, I like lemon cake around Easter, and it's got to have, and it's got to be lemony cake, and then the icing got to have that lemon icing. Lemon icing got to
Can
be
you all
just
tell
right.
we're all foodies?
Right.
Telling you.
Because I'm like. Yeah, so you know, in our family, what I like is now I can make a sweet potato pie, but that's not like my favorite.
Your favorite.
Mine is pecan pie, German chocolate cake, and I'm now getting into red velvet.
Okay.
Red velvet, I'm a late contender on that.
Got it.
Now that I think about it, I remember having some when I was younger, but it was like I'm not a big icing person, so it was like that icing was just it was a bit busy.
Well, I need you to try something for
Oh
me.
God.
Because I found this
This
combination.
baby say because. Not because, but because. Because. Yes, because.
Sweet potato pie with pecan pie on the top.
My brother makes that.
Yes.
My brother makes that. He
That's a
makes,
little bit of
he
heaven.
Makes, yeah.
Right here on earth.
See, that
Wow.
one I won't try because he did that one and he does that well because honestly, I am not the cook of the family. I tell everybody that. I am not the cook. As
Wow.
far as they're concerned, I cannot cook. I am not the cook.
Wow.
I have one meal that I'm
interesting.
allowed to cook when I'm at home.
What is
And
that?
that is breakfast.
Wow.
I am the breakfast person. I can
Isn't
make
that
biscuits.
something?
I get up and I did brunch last Christmas, which turned out phenomenal. I must say myself.
I love it.
And because my brother challenged me to some shrimp and grits. I said, "Oh no, boo, I can do that because it's called Find a Recipe." Or you go to the restaurant where you like it and you ask them, "Now what y'all put in is.
Right.
So what y'all
Yeah.
do? You don't even know. Somebody is calling on the phone, y'all. That's on Facebook. That's my Facebook Live. If you are calling on Facebook Live, you need to call on the phone. Hit exit on there. Thank you. All right, y'all, we live. I'm not sure what was going on. If y'all want to call in, please join in the conversation. It's 443-454-3751. I think that's right, because they didn't put it on the screen either. So y'all, everybody know I don't know my phone number. So that's not even a secret though. That's the funny part. But I think it's 443-454-47 something like that. Y'all call us. Y'all know the number. It's up there. Y'all don't be trying to act brand new. Y'all got the number. So, and what I've done, and because I'm a giver, and I don't have a problem with giving. I don't have a problem with serving. It's like when I have people over, like some of my friends, they know immediately for the holidays, if I'm having something or if at the last minute I do something, I try to fix something that everybody likes. And I get that from my grandmother. And I get that from my family. And so that's like something, because food played a very intricate part in my upbringing, in communicating, and just doing what we do. Right. So that's like when you come to y'all found out the hard way, because when I was cleaning up I had to clean up my freezer because I was moving. So I invited this group of people. They were a part of the group. Now these country folk right here, so I could put anything, and we good.
We had a little of this.
Do you know I had folk come to my house? Anybody that know me came to my house talking about, I don't eat meat. What? I'm from Texas, boo. We eat meat. I don't care if you are vegetarian. You done slid some chicken in there somewhere. Somewhere. It's some meat. Then they were like, well, is it milk in this? Y'all did have sweet potato pie. Y'all did, because it was milk in it. Because they were like, is milk in this? I'm like, what? How you sitting up here limited? That's why you ain't got no meat on your bones.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was like, but
that
y'all,
was difficult.
That was funny. That was funny, because then at that point, because I'm thinking I'm doing something, I had went and got extra chicken. I went and got ribs. I was just putting out stuff, just cooking. Then they were like, well, I said, okay, hold up. Because mama didn't raise no food. And I got all kind of tricks that she do. Right. It's always something in the freezer. Yes. Because country folk keep stuff in the freezer. I don't care what is going on. Because
the one in the house and on the porch. I'm just saying.
Flatline. Because you know what? Don't know about that porch freezer unless you from the real country.
It's the truth. She's right.
Unless you from the country for real. Mm-hmm. Oh, girl.
Run out of space.
My aunt had y'all, let me tell y'all, funerals in our family are always comical. Because, most of the people in our family they live to pretty old ages. And so when that happens is that, so my aunt, well, she's not my aunt. She's really my great cousin. But you know how that go too. If you're from the country and you're a certain age, you don't call nobody by their first name. That's just your ain't this, ain't that. Mm-hmm. So when she passed, I called my cousin. So you already know I'm cutting up on the phone. I say, look, you ain't out in the smokehouse, are you? Or did you get all the meat out? Because your mama had meat in the smokehouse. So it's like, those are funny things and funny times when we're dealing with our family. So what are some traditions that y'all have taken, again, by us being from the South, now living on the East Coast, we probably do things that people look at us like, because like people laughed at me when one of my girlfriends said, yeah, you got something with you. Because I ziplock everything. Because I've always been, because I came from such a big family, I'm used to buying the family pack, breaking it down and putting it in the freezer, because you always got to be prepared. My grandmother still
come with the Ziploc bags and the aluminum foil.
No, I don't do that.
Yeah.
No,
in our family.
That's what my family does.
No.
They pack up their to-go bag before they start to eat. Sad, but it's true.
I think we all have one or two of those, but I was not one of those because I refused. Because if I feel I can't do it, and I was like, somebody said,
only with the family now.
No, what tickles me the most.
My family.
Look, wait a minute. What tickles me the most?
If something's real good, they pack that up, honey. That's it.
I'll be like, yeah, go on it. Now, the funny one to me is when where my fall paper? what foil paper? Who does this? You just need some foil?
Right,
Would you like
right.
some ceramic? No, some foil paper, baby. Just some foil paper. Be like, stop playing with me. So one of the things that my grandmother would do is because she always said you have to be prepared. You never know when somebody's going to come to your house.
Right.
You always got to be able, because that thing was, we might not be able to give you money, but we definitely will be able to give you a good meal, something that sustains you. So what are some traditions that you've done or picked up from, let's say, your grandparents that you still holding on to, or even somebody that was close to you? And especially, again, being from the South, I haven't noticed it because people here don't even really go to the grocery store. I'm a grocery store person. I still go make groceries. I still go buy groceries. I still make sure that I got enough for the week. Even if I do go eat out, I know at the end of the day I can still go home and make a sandwich or pull something out the freezer to cook. So what is something that you've done?
Well, like you say, storing food, just freezing stuff, and so you always have something prepared. Because sometimes you don't have the time, so you always have something prepared in the freezer. That's my trick from my grandmother.
Okay.
I think in terms of just general traditions, there are a few things that we've always done. Like on Saturdays, that was our family time. I mean, now mind you, my dad was the type, everybody was going to eat at the table together as a family.
Right.
And I appreciate that, and I appreciate still doing that to my family now, because a lot of people go in their own room, they cut the TV on, they had a computer on, and everybody's scattered. So we still have family time. So when I'm with my family, we sit at the table, and you're going to have somebody that's going to bless the food.
Well, we started giving people numbers. Because, see, I come from a family full of preachers, and them jokers be praying, be like, we hungry. We want to eat. And then they let me pray one year. They say, "Whoa, you didn't take out your uncles." Yes.
Quick.
We just like to gather. And it's just like, that's what we do. One thing that I really, really like, this is a new tradition that didn't carry over, but my sister-in-law, she loves games.
Yeah.
So we have to put on the matching family onesies on Christmas Eve.
Not the matching family.
Yeah, all of us. The dog, my nephew dog, my niece.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Onesies.
Yeah, onesies. My brother, he'll hate me for saying this, but he has the Christmas, Santa onesie on. I know, I'm sorry,
and I
dear.
met your brother. That don't
I'm sorry.
Sir, I'm so sorry that they have done that to you. If you are watching tonight, I am your friend. I know. They got you. Because it sounds like you are the only man in this. I bless you.
Well, the first year he refused.
Oh, yeah, okay,
He
now,
did.
okay.
The
All
second year, because the niece was getting a little older, he wanted to
Lord.
oblige his daughter.
Right.
But what is really cool, so we're in our onesies, and we have a Christmas cookie decorating contest.
Wow.
And we sit with our Christmas cookie, with our hot cocoa, and we tell our favorite Christmas memory.
Aww.
It's like a Hallmark movie. And so it's real special.
The
so I
black
look
version?
forward to it. Yeah, the black version. So I even started doing tricks now. So since we do our own little cookies, last time when I went to Alabama, I found cookie cutters like the letter A, Roll Tide, right? Okay.
Right.
So I had to hide mine in the corner. So when I broke out the Alabama cookie, I changed the game.
See, she done stepped it up.
Yes.
It up. Well, yeah, I lost one year. We played games like that. We were gonna have a cooking contest, and I lost to my little 7-year-old cousin. I was like, how did this? How this happen? They like, dear, I think she beat you on this one. Because you know me, I feel like ain't nobody
7
beat me.
years old?
Yeah, she made something. I think she did monkey bread or something, and I made cinnamon rolls. And I think my icing was just a little too thick for this one. I was like, man, I felt some kind of way. But it's all good. It's all good. I can't wait. I got to figure out what, because if I do go home for Christmas, I got to figure out what the challenge is, because we normally have a challenge that we pass across. And what are some Thanksgiving or holiday traditions that y'all have?
Well, let me think. We didn't really do like traditions. We just pretty much just got together. Well, what happened is the kids would go to bed early. You know what I'm saying? And so they would be like, you can get your gifts, when the daylight comes, but they would sneak.
That was the time Santa Claus would come. Yeah.
But they would sneak.
And I used to get mad because we had to go to church, and I didn't understand because I thought I was missing Santa Claus. Why we at church?
It's fun with the gifts,
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. And then we all had a big brunch around about 10. So that was something I always enjoyed.
We wasn't that sophisticated. We didn't start doing brunch until a couple of years ago. We was ghetto fabulous. I'm sorry. We were like we used to talk about we used to leave. Okay, y'all, we really did do the Santa Claus thing. It got so bad that I can remember my cousin ran out the house because my mom said, "Y'all better go to bed. Santa Claus coming." He went and knocked on the window to make it seem like the hoofs was there. And then my mom said because they grew up in the country, what my uncles would do to them is that they would go out and put like hoof marks in the dirt and make it seem like
I love it.
make it seem like the reindeer. Oh yeah, they was real serious. And because that was something that they did that was fun for the kids. But you talk about people that lived in the country, and then like my family, I'm a descendant of sharecroppers, so you know, and I tell everybody, I don't knock that beginning because I learned my work ethic from them.
That's
and
right.
so that's why the holidays mean so much, because it's just like, even though I'm saying that we do all this, like for Thanksgiving, like for Christmas, we still go pile into my great aunt's house.
Yes.
Everybody shows up. It's 3 6-foot tables. You got a plate of meat, plate of sides, and a table of meats, table of meats, table of sides, table of
Don't forget my desserts,
desserts.
right?
Yeah, no. Oh, then there's another one, just salads, all different kind of salads. It's real crazy. But that's my family. But then it's so much food cooked that it's like it doesn't matter who drops in.
That's
Everybody
right.
gonna get a plate.
Yeah,
and and that's what I'm used to. I'm used to it just being in abundance. Nobody talks about how much they spent. Nobody said, "Girl, you ain't putting nothing in on this." It's
right.
just come on in, sit down, and have a feast, and just join in. And that's one of the biggest things that I'm thankful for that I took from them. That it's like our traditions are kind of weird to me, especially once I got here, because that's when I realized I grew up in a bubble.
Right.
I mean, all of us have had the experience because our family was so close, but because it was like my cousins were my best friends. I didn't know anything else. It's like if I went to church, I was with my cousins. If I went out of town, I was with the cousins. Because like I told y'all, I'm the product of neighbors. My parents grew up across the street from each other. So what do I know? Nothing. So even with building relationships, I had to, break out of that shell with that. So it's like, even with the holidays coming, it's different because I can remember my first Thanksgiving being here, quote unquote, by myself. That was different because my mom was like, "Why are you not coming home?" I said, "Well, Mom, we only off for like 3 days. That doesn't make sense for me to fly home for 3 days when I can just go ahead and deal with Thanksgiving here and then fly home for Christmas. Because then I could be home for a couple of weeks."
Right.
And so, my first time doing that was interesting. How was your first time doing something different for Thanksgiving? Or even a holiday period?
Well, it's interesting. I don't necessarily... The blessing for me is that we've been able to really maintain the same kinds of traditions for a while, just because most people in our family are very family oriented. And so it's just kind of carried over. I think the biggest thing for me is when I had my entire family that was still around and I wanted to switch it up.
Right.
And, so like on Thanksgiving, you're going to, like you said, the table with the meats, the desserts, that's how we would do it. You know, we would slave and cook. And so for Christmas, I'm like, okay, can we just do something different, please?
Right.
Yes.
Can we fire up the grill?
Yeah, now we did start doing that too.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
That's
I can't
fun.
do no turkey dressing twice.
Yeah, I'm just
That's
like, no,
true.
that's too
Too
much.
close. Too close.
It was too much. And so, for me, and then one time I said, like, can we just order some pizza? They were like, are you serious? I said, yeah,
I'm with
because
you, though.
look,
We right here,
we
boo.
can order the pizza and we can relax and really enjoy ourselves and
That's
get up
right.
and open the
Instead of-
presents, and we ain't got to worry about that stuff. So the one year we did that, Eric was like, I like that. Now, we didn't go back to it the next year,
Of course not. You can only break it
Right.
up, but you got to be.
but it was a good year.
Right.
So now, every other Thanksgiving, I order my pizza.
I love it.
And
I
I
love
sit
it.
at home.
I love it. Because you know what? Sometimes breaking the tradition is fun too.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you have to do it because, again, I can remember three Christmases ago, I decided we're going to have nostalgic Christmas. So what I did, you remember back in the day when you went to church on Christmas, that week of
Yes.
Christmas, you got your little brown bag, and in your little brown bag, you had your apple, your orange,
Yes.
all
Your
these nuts,
peppermint.
and wait a minute, right? The peppermint, the candy that you ain't never, just feel like it only come out once a year,
Exactly.
and all these nuts that you had not seen ever in life,
Right.
and that you would never eat, it was all in this bag. So that's what I did. And I took everybody said, "Oh my God, you took us back! You took us back!" And
I
it was
loved
like,
it.
you know, and it was funny because even the babies, they didn't realize what we were laughing at. Because we was like, man, you remember standing in line to get this bag and we thought we was doing something. I said, I know, you know, fighting in line, cutting in line over an apple and an orange.
Yes.
Apple and an orange. But you know what? Those are the things that made us who we are today.
Right.
My grandmother every year gave us like the big fat peppermint stick and a bag of pecans.
Right.
Every year. That was her thing. So probably about 5
Tangerines.
years ago, those were just only 2 for her. But that was like the thing. And the combination of those 2. But about 5 years ago, I put pecans and a big old peppermint stick in my brother's stocking.
Oh,
And then probably messed
It
him
did.
up.
It did. You know, it just took him right back to that time where the simple times.
Exactly.
Where you just home with your family. And look, all you needed was the peppermint and the pecans. It wasn't even about the gifts. It's
Not
about
at
the
all.
love.
Because the crazy part, you don't even remember the stuff that you got
Exactly.
that Christmas. All you
Exactly.
remember is that simple thing that they showed.
The
as
important
love.
things.
Very much so. Because that meant that they put thought in that. Because really and truly, it's so simple that you take for granted that might have been all they could afford.
that's true.
Yeah.
And you know,
And you look back and you realize that's really what
what
it was.
That's really what it was. Yeah.
And they made sure you had something. Well, guys, believe it or not, this show is over.
Oh, wow.
We are at the end of our show, and to close out, I want us all to give out at least one thing that you are thankful for and in this season.
You know what? It goes back to what we just said a moment ago. I remember a time when we didn't have anything. I remember a time growing up in the projects and we had literally nothing, but we had each other. And so now I have to hold on to what's really important. It's not about the stuff. It's about the people and the relationships and the love. And so for me, I'm thankful for the people that God has placed in my life and relationships. And the fact that I even have the ability to buy a turkey
Wow.
in this season.
Amen. Amen. I got the amen on that one, honey. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm thankful for growth, just being able to, grow and just be able to channel my, from where I've come from, which has been, a long journey in itself, and be able to be positive and be able to be a blessing to somebody else, provide a positive outlook to someone in need. So I'm just glad I can be able to channel my experiences that I've gone through to help somebody else.
I love it. I love it. And y'all, what I'm thankful for, I'm thankful for these ladies for bailing me out tonight and supporting me because, they didn't have to support. They didn't have to do that. And I just want to thank them for thinking enough of me to want to support me in my dream and my aspirations. And then I want to thank you guys for just tuning in tonight because this is a new night, new time. And thank y'all because I see a lot of you have hung in with us for the whole time. I appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving. We love you to life. And again, have a great one. Peace out.